Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Bandai Tamashii Nation's S.H.Figuarts Black Widow movie, Black Widow figure review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
And a quick side view of the box. You can see it says S.H.Figuarts Black Widow. There's a picture of the figure. And on the opposite side, more of the same. And there's a frontal view. All right, let's get her open and see what's what. Here we go. Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow. This is her look from her upcoming movie that should have already come out, but due to the pandemic, it was pushed back to November, and I don't know that any movies are going to come out. Who knows what's going to happen? But here is another Black Widow figure from Bandai Tamashii Nations. I believe this is our fourth, if I'm not mistaken. We had Age of Ultron, we had Infinity War, we had Endgame, and now her solo flick. Yeah, I think that's right. To be honest, I didn't really care about this figure, but because I wanted to get the Taskmaster, I was like, you know what, I gotta get Black Widow. I can't just get Taskmaster and not have someone for him or her to fight, because I don't think we still know whether or not Taskmaster is a male or female. But I do like this costume design. It is sort of like a variation of the Avengers Endgame version, where she has her little like batons in the backpack. She looks sort of like a ninja without a face covering. She also has her hair braided in this look, so she's got it back in sort of a ponytail, but it's braided. And like I said, you can see the two batons sticking out of her little backpack apparatus, and she's got her two Glocks with the all black skin tight suit, and a nice play on her classic comic book look with the gold gauntlets. I like the way that looks. I kind of feel like they added a little girth to this figure. She did have a baby in real life, and I guess she might have put on a little more weight, so maybe they might have changed this buck up just a little bit. I don't know. We'll see when I break out some of the past Black Widows to compare, and if I'm totally wrong, then I'm sorry for being a And here's a good look at that head sculpt. Unfortunately, there are no additional head sculpts here, so maybe you can swap from some of the previous versions, but I would assume that they only included one head sculpt because this will be her look throughout most of the movie. But I don't know if that's true, because if you remember some videos back, maybe it was the Marvel Legends movie-based version review that I did, but I'm pretty certain that this movie is going to be based on the Deadly Origin comic book arc. In that arc, it explored her history with a lot of different characters and this and that, and took her back to Russia, and so it's a good possibility that we'll see a lot of different looks for her. But maybe this is her look from the final arc of the movie. I do think the head sculpt looks good. I think the likeness is there. I think SHF has been better with the likeness on characters since they started doing the face scan technology, and you can definitely see the resemblance. Out of the package, she comes with two fists attached. She's got two hands that are open with the fingers spread. She has a set that's open and kind of cupped. The fingers are all close together. She has a set that are really cupped, and these are enclosed but open. You know, her fingers are touching the thumb, and it's fixed in a way where you can actually get her to hold her baton. So you can see her left hand is kind of clutching the baton, and looks like her right hand looks like she's veering back to grab the other one. And then she's packed in with the two batons that are extended. So the two that come attached to her backpack out of the package are just kind of like a quarter version of the more elongated version here. So you can pull those out and put these in her hand, and she's got a real nice firm grip on these. No problem getting them into her hand, because you can actually detach the upper half of the baton from the bottom and slide the bottom portion up through her hand and then reattach it. So no issue swapping out the ones from her backpack and putting these in and making everything look authentic. It looks good. And I've been all over the place. That was like 2 weeks ago that I shot all of that footage prior, and I was on the wrong angle. I was sitting really low here and the wrong lighting and whatever the case may be. So here I am continuing on with the Deadly Origin or the Black Widow solo movie, Black Widow. And she's packed in with these two fists that have this sort of widow's sting attached to it. So these little blue effects are attached. I think they probably should have been red, but maybe this is directly from the movie and they will be blue in the the movie, and they're sort of like an electric effect, but they look like ballistic effects. It looks like it would be like bullets or something. I mean, I know that her gauntlets can shoot a few different type of projectiles or energy effects or what have you, so, but this is cool. Oh, is SHF trolling us a little bit? Like I mentioned, it does look like she's got a little fupa right there, man. Don't be mad at me. I'm not a misogynist pig. But yeah, you can see that her two holstered pistols are attached on her left and right thigh, and you can actually pull that entire apparatus off. The pistols are fixed into those holsters, and then you can apply another two without the pistols in them, and then put the two pistols in her hand. So we'll do that. And she's got what looks to be twin Glocks here. Would have been nice for some little blast effects for the front of the guns. Getting spoiled from Marvel Legends, I guess. I think we needed that additional head sculpt as well. And then her final accessory is this sort of hook weapon, which looks like it's kind of on a chain. Maybe she could swing it or something like that, because obviously that's not straight, or maybe it's just not supposed to be straight. Maybe it's like a grappling hook of some sort. You can detach it here at the lower portion in order to actually get it in her hand that is more suited to hold it. I have it with the trigger finger hand here, but you know, I just angled it where it'll stay, but it's really supposed to be for the cupped hand, and then you know, detach the lower portion, slip that up through the hand, and reattach it. But all of that jumping off of stuff we see her doing in the trailer, I suppose she'll need this to kind of hook onto something so she won't plummet to her death. And real quick in terms of articulation, so the head is on a separate joint from the neck. The head and neck move separately from each other, so you do get a very good range of motion, down, up, left, right, pivot. No issues there. The hair is actually on a little ball joint. It can be removed. You can take that out actually. The batons are on small little ball joints, so they rotate. You have a ball joint hidden inside of the shoulder, so you got to kind of shift it to operate it. You can do a full 360. It does swivel a bit on that joint. There is a butterfly joint. You get double jointed elbow, swivel, and a hinge on the wrist. Upper torso articulation as well as lower abdominal articulation. You can move her back. You can turn her at the waist. Leg will come up that far. There's a barbell joint inside there. You do get swivel at the upper thigh, double jointed knee, and you get a hinge and a pivot on the foot. And look at that. 3 different Black Widows, 3 different body types. How did they manage to do that? So on the left is the Black Widow from the Avengers Age of Ultron movie, and she looks to be maybe the tallest out of the bunch, but she's also sporting heels. And then on the right is the Black Widow from the Avengers Infinity War movie. So 3 different outfits, 3 different looks, and it seems to be 3 different body types for the most part, with the Age of Ultron and Avengers Infinity War body types looking the most similar, but for certain her midsection on this newer one is a little wider, hips a little wider, and she's the shortest in this version. That doesn't really make any sense. And just giving you a closer look at all of them side by side, I do think the likeness for this new one is pretty spot on. They did okay with the Avengers Age of Ultron version, but I think this is before they really upped their game with the face scan technology. And there's going to be no head swapping between the 3 because they all utilize different ports and parts for the head. And there's Avengers Infinity War and her solo movie look side by side. Again, I think they did a good job on pretty much all of these head sculpts. It's too bad you can't really swap them. Maybe if you swap from the neck, maybe you could do some surgery, but I ain't about to go through all of that. And you know what? I'm bugging. I talked about all 4 Black Widows that we received from SHF, but only showed 3. Totally forgot about the Avengers Endgame version. So left to right, we got Tony Stark in there just for some symmetry. We've got the Age of Ultron Black Widow. We have the Avengers Infinity War Black Widow. We have the Avengers Endgame Widow, and then the solo movie Widow. And for the record, the Avengers Endgame and solo movie Widow are almost the same. They have the same base buck. The Avengers Endgame version is a little taller because she has the platform hills. You can swap the batons between the 2. The guns from the solo movie Black Widow fit on the side of the Avengers Endgame Black Widow. You can swap the heads. So yeah, it's kind of weird how frumpy she looks. Now I don't really like this figure, but aside from Black Widow, we have Taskmaster as well, who I don't have, and I'm looking to probably get. I still need the Marvel Legends version of that figure, so I don't have any figures from that particular wave. So yeah, I don't know, man. This figure is okay. I don't think it's the best likeness to her stature. You know, the head sculpt looks good, good accessories, but if we're not going to be able to build the rest of her team from the movie through SHF, then I don't really see the point. We are much closer to the full team with the Marvel Legends version, and it's way cheaper too. So not one I would highly recommend, but okay figure. Alright, thanks for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell down there. And until next time, peace.